How's it going out there, guys? This is Splattercat doing a Let's Play a bit of Faster Than Light, a game that's been produced by two guys. I think the names were Justin Ma and Matt Davis, but all in all, the game has actually been fantastic. For having such a small development team, I've had a load of fun with it. It's kind of a roguelike, but you take control of a ship where you're the captain and you're just kind of managing all your different systems, from shields to engines to weapons, and it really does give that classic kind of Star Trek feel. I am going to go ahead and jump into a new game. We're going to use the default ship because I feel kind of attached to it. I really do. It kind of reminds me of the Firefly. I really do like the default ship, though. I'm going to customize my crew's names. I'm going to name this female crewman Alice because, well, I liked Phantasy Star. I'm going to rename this gentleman Wedge. So there we are, crewman Wedge. And in true form, we're going to call this guy Biggs. So we've got Biggs, Wedge, and Alice all loaded up and ready to go. We're going to rename our ship, though. It's going to be the SS Splattercat. I'm not sure that that's the perfect name for it, but I like it, and therefore it's going to stay. And we start with a burst laser rank 2, and we start with the Artemis missiles. That's standard fare. I do like the layout of this ship versus the layout of other ships, and we're just going to get started. First things first, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign Biggs to the gunnery, and I'm going to assign Wedge to the shields, and I think I'm just going to have Alice go ahead and be our pilot. Everything's looking good. We are starting out in a nebula, so we do have blackout on our sensors, but we're not going to be here for long. So let's go ahead and bounce out of the nebula. Ooh, that's a tempting system. Basically, the storyline is that we're being chased by the rebels. We are actually part of a galactic union of some sorts, and we have special plans on our ship, and we're trying to get to the final map with these plans. And as we go across this star system, the enemy is going to slowly engulf it with a giant fleet. And if we choose to go through these nebulas, it's actually going to make them move a little slower because they've got to go through the nebulas to get to us. But what I'm noticing is if we go through the center of the system, we're actually going to get a better score because the more stars you visit, the more systems you visit, the better your score is. So I think I'm going to go like this and just zigzag through the middle, and we'll see what happens. Let's see what pops up in this first system. A automated rebel ship is stationed here, and I think we're going to attack it to get to its storage because it doesn't even have shields, guys. It's pretty much a victim. It is waiting for us to just ravage its systems and just take everything it has, and that is exactly what we are going to do here today. He did hit us in our engines, but his weapons are down now, so I'm going to go ahead and take Wedge and tell him to go repair the engines while we finish this guy off. I don't think automated drones can repair themselves, so this should be a reasonably easy scenario. And this final shot, hopefully, alright, we've gone ahead and we've destroyed him, and we've looted 15 scrap, which is good. The storage unit also has 9 scrap and a heavy ion cannon in it, which is fantastic. As we get to further levels, enemies are going to have more and more shields. It's going to be harder and harder to punch through with the burst laser, so the heavy ion is going to allow us to just go pow and knock out their shields in one good blow. I didn't mean to open that door there. We're going to put Wedge back on the shields, and we're going to go ahead and jump to the next system and see what fate has in store for us. We're in an asteroid belt here. This is going to work both for us and against us. In asteroid systems, your shields are routinely struck by asteroids that are just coming back and forth. So as you can see, our shields are going to spend most of this time down. He's got a cloaking unit up, so he's going to save that until he takes his first shot. For whatever reason, we did not return fire, which is making me feel a little nervous. I think it's because our weapon system got hit by an asteroid or by a laser, but we are returning fire now. Our sensor systems are down, but we're going to ignore that because I do want to keep the shields up while we're in the asteroid belt. He's taken some pretty serious damage thus far, so we should be able to wait him out. I think he's an automated unit anyways, so I don't think he's going to be able to return fire. The asteroids are going to finish him off for us, and we get 1 missile, 1 drone part, and 12 scrap. We're going to want to keep an eye on our fuel because I have noticed we haven't looted any fuel. Wedge is going to go in here and he's going to repair the sensors. Alice is going to help him. All of our guys have skills that we can actually max out and get a little better at. There is a fire in our gunnery right now. I'm going to put Alice back there, and we're going to attempt to get this fire under control. The shields should be able to maintain and take care of most of this. We got our guys with fire extinguishers here. Man, we're in trouble. We are definitely in trouble. So we're gonna jump to the next system, and hopefully nothing horrible happens. We're really taking a gamble here by jumping. This station is offering to repair us. I'm gonna pause the game for a minute. Our gunnery is just taking... We're gonna have to send them to medbay, and I think I'm actually just gonna vent all this out into space and hope for the best. I don't think... We're just gonna have to wait this one out. Our gunnery is disabled. We don't want this fire to spread any further, so I'm just gonna get all the oxygen out of my ship that I possibly can and see if we can just put these out. There's no oxygen left, so these fires should start going out. The fires are out, and we're gonna start sealing off cabins and just keeping an eye on everything. Once there's enough oxygen here, we're gonna have both Biggs and Wedge repair the gunnery. The fires are out, so I don't know why I'm not. We're gonna go ahead and seal everything off, start seeing if we can get some oxygen restored. Your guys basically suffocate to death, as you would have guessed if they're in an area where the oxygen is down. The gunnery has sustained pretty serious damage. It's going to take us a minute anyways to repair that. Oxygen levels are rising. We're at 80% right now. If Biggs and Wedge are going to... Actually, never mind. Nothing else really got damaged. That's actually surprising, and it's an outcome that I'm pretty happy with. Usually when fires break out like that, they do a bit more damage. So we are, for better or worse, in kind of a nice situation. I'm going to take the high road here, just in case that low road doesn't connect. And we are... Our screens have been lit up with warnings. A pirate has attempted to hack our engines, but we keep them operational, so we're happy with that outcome. We are going to enable the burst lasers and the Artemis rockets just in case. And our first shot is going to go straight for their gunnery to see if we can just... I always want to be in a situation where they cannot return fire. That is always the perfect situation to be in. You don't want them returning fire. You want them just sitting there helpless while you just ravage their ship. We're going to fire again with the burst lasers here. He doesn't have a whole lot to fire on us with. Their weapons are now officially down. I'm going to keep an eye on these doors. Sometimes when you see their doors open, it means they're going to have crewmen. Yes, they do have a crewman in there right now, so we really do want to fire on that cabin and damage the crewmen as much as possible. See if we can get them to surrender. We're just going to keep that firing. I know that there's an auto-fire option. I'm not using it. I like to keep things manual. I like to be hands-on when I captain a ship. And this looks like it's more... This looks like it's going to be a routine engagement, so we're not going to have any major problems. And the ship is down. The slug interceptor is out of our way. We've got some more fuel and some more scrap, which is good. As I thought... Well, we've got a decision to make here. We do have some time. So I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to jump to this lower system, because we do have some time on our hands. And it's a mercenary ship. He looks pretty loaded for bear. Let's take the chance. We'll engage him. We're going to be a space jerk right now and just engage. He is kind of loaded for combat, so I do want his gunnery down. I am going to use a missile here because he does have an ion cannon, which is something that I'm not comfortable with. And that is exactly why right there. I saw that he had a claw laser. He did hit an ancillary cabin that's not really going to matter, so we're just going to vent that out into space and not concern ourselves with it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and open fire. Actually, let's just keep some pressure on his gunnery. I didn't see any... There we go. We have somebody working on the gunnery now. We don't want them to make a jump to light speed, though. Our engines are kind of damaged, and he's not returning fire, so I'm going to have Wedge go back there and repair the engines. And this final shot should render him... He is trying to escape now. I am going to take the chance and just use the Artemis missile to end this once and for all. We do have some extra missiles, so we're not... I was hoping we would loot a missile to make up for the one we used. Some people are going to disagree with that decision, but I am the captain on this ship. This is the Splattercat where I rule. This is not a democracy, so objections will be quickly thrown out the airlock. So bear that in mind, viewer. I'm going to put Wedge back in the shield department, and we're going to jump to our next... We have 2 distress beacons. We're going to have to make a decision between the 2. I'm going to take the high road because it's closer to the path that I was going to travel anyways. we found a distress beacon, and apparently there's a ship here that has just been beat up by asteroids, and they've been illegally mining out here. We are going to take advantage of the situation, do a little space piracy, and we're going to loot their ship. We depressurized and killed them all. I feel a bit like a murderer, but we did get 3 fuel, 2 missiles, and 13 scrap. For the first system, we were doing remarkably well. I would like to have about 120 scrap by the time we get out of here. I am going to hit this store here and see if there's anything that I want to exchange goods for. We have taken some hull damage, so at bare minimum we can repair our hull. We have enough for... I don't like any of the gear they have here. They have bombs. I'm not a big fan of bombs. I prefer projectile weapons. I'm kind of a brute force kind of guy. We do have an ion cannon, which puts us in the situation of really not needing a whole lot. The ion cannon is typically that first weapon that I try to track down as I'm going. I am going to buy out... What do we have here? I don't have anything that I really want to sell. They don't have any augmentations that I really want. The drone control could be useful, but we don't have the power systems to power it right now. And I would like to save the scrap for bare minimum upgrades at the moment. So there are bare basic upgrades. So I think I'm just going to repair the ship. I think I am going to buy some missiles, but I am going to keep 50 scrap for upgrades. We're going to take a look at our ship here while we've got some downtime. I think I'm going to throw one into engines because engines affect how well you dodge. And then I'm going to buy some extra power so that I can power that extra engine. Oh, really? So we were running on... So we don't actually have any surplus power. So our dodge is up to 15%. And I would like to see this number around 35% by the time we get to the second or third system. We're going to jump to here. And I think we're going to do a swoop-a-loop. This is pretty much the worst RNG you can get, is a star. We're going to try and end this engagement really rapidly. We're just going to open fire with everything we have. We are in a really tough situation. I don't want to underestimate. Those of you out there familiar with the game will know that we are just in the nastiest of situations right now. We really do just want to get the hell out of this system. Just KO him as quickly as possible, and there's why. When you're near a star... Oh, man. I think I'm going to play fireman here and try and get this fire taken care of without venting. Because if the engine goes down, we're going to be stuck in the vicinity of this star. And that's really not where we want to be. We're going to let this one, however, vent. We are going to vent that cabin out. It looks like they buffed the rate at which you can vent the cabins. The fires do spread, and now we can't jump to light speed, which is what I was worried about. I was really worried about our ability to jump to light speed. We are venting. We are trying to repair the engines right now to a lowly functional level. We are functional, which means I'm going to jump back to this storefront, I think. Because we got to get these fires under control. Our score is just going to have to take one for the team right now. We're going to avoid a conflict just because we're in rough shape already. And I think a conflict is going to just push us over the edge. I'm going to send Wedge over here to help deal with fires. But I'm going to make sure he doesn't go through the vented areas. These fires are spreading. Our crewmen are taking damage from the fires. I would like to get... Oh, it's destroyed. How unfortunate. So, in order to keep... God, what a day. What a day to be captain. Biggs is taking damage here, so we're going to swap him out for Alice to finish off putting out the fire. I am going to try and get Medbay back up and running. But for our first little set of adventures, we really are... We're in rough shape, guys. No joke. No joke. We're going to send everybody to Medbay. The entire crew is kicking it in Medbay right now. Getting their HP back up. Once they are all healed up, I think we probably could have taken that ship, but so much of our crew was busy with other actions. I'm forgetting who's in charge of our gunnery here. Wedge is in charge of our shields. And that means that Biggs... I'm sorry. I sent the wrong people to the wrong cabins. Biggs is in charge of our gunnery. The rebels are closing in on us, so we're going to hit this last nebula, and we're just going to see how it goes from here. Our sensors are down. A Mantis ship has decided to attack us and take our telemetry. I'm really hoping the Mantis are incredibly adept at boarding. I am going to fire all weapons at his gunnery because I see that he has a rocket launcher. And once we fire that one rocket, take out his gunnery, I'm going to disable the rocket launchers. And after this engagement, I'm probably going to call off this Let's Play. It's running a bit long. Our missiles have impacted. We've done good damage, so the Artemis is going to go offline, and we're going to reroute the rest of the power to engines, which gives us 20% evade. We don't really have to worry about evading at the moment because all their weapons are down, but we're going to finish them off, and we're going to jump to the next system, and that's how this Let's Play is going to end. My name is Splattercat, and I've recently started doing Let's Plays. I would really like it if you could give me feedback, like, comment. Let me know what I could do better, what I'm doing worse, and we're going to jump to our exit zone. Hopefully our exit zone is not covered. We did a good job in the first sector here, and we are going to jump to the next sector. We have a pirate-controlled sector and an NG-controlled sector. The NG are friendly, so we're going to jump to the NG sector. This is Splattercat, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I will see you in Episode 2, guys.